Okay, so I am here with Mr. Mike Ruffell, and this is Brian with Cambio Training, and I've been excited and looking forward to this podcast. I think I reached out to you probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even a month ago. But Mike and I have worked off and on together for probably the past 2 to 3 years, maybe 3 or 4 years ago now. We started in, I got to know you through Solar.
Yeah.
And Mike used to be one of the dealers for Solcius, and then we worked and just, you were working with Sun Edison and some other companies. But back when Mike and I started working together, he was big into CrossFit. And I remember kept telling me, hey, Brian, you need to get into CrossFit someday.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. But what's been very inspirational about Mike and what I'm excited to learn more about is he just went through a journey where he did his first competition in classic physique. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's right. Classic physique.
And Mike, and you're going to be able to talk all about that, but to see the transformation that you went through, and you were always in shape. You've always been a hard worker and a weightlifter, but to see the transition that happened, there's some really awesome things that I just want to touch on and find out from you about, like nutrition and all that kind of stuff. So Mike, why don't you just briefly just give us a little bit of an overview of who you are and where you're from and that, a little of your background.
Yeah, you bet. Mike Ruffell from Burley, Idaho, and southern Idaho, not too far from Boise. You have to travel through to get to Boise. Probably most of you know where it is, but grew up there, graduated from Burley, served a mission for the LDS Church in Florida, went to college at Rick's College. You know, for the millennials, they probably don't know where Rick's is, but BYU, Idaho. And then BYU Provo.
Mm-hmm.
And gosh, been in corporate America for years, been in direct sales for about the same amount of years now. But as Brian said, we met in the solar world. Similar backgrounds from a direct sales perspective, with you know, knocking doors a lot in direct sales with alarms and pest and solar, and you know, it's been a pleasure, you know, getting to know you and you know, diving into the solar world. I've learned a lot from you in that industry,
right?
And yeah, I've been excited for this podcast, you know, for the same reasons. I have a great deal of respect for you and you know what you've done, and I always talk about, you know, Solcius and the operations and just how sound that company is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, and so Mike, as you've heard, he's been in direct sales for a long time, but you've also been an entrepreneur. So just right now, you've created a company called ACES. Just tell us a little bit about ACES.
Yeah, real quick, ACES Companies. It's that's the parent company, and then we also have underneath that our flagship is ACES Energy with that's energy efficiency products. And a number of different products from multi-layer insulation to attic solar fans, additive that goes into the air conditioner, and then we dabble in some probiotics, air purification, and surface purification systems. And then we do solar as well, and commercial LED.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you've been successful in that, and I'm looking at Mike right now. He probably looks like he's about a 30-year-old young man. And how old are you, Mike?
47. I'll be 48 this year.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay, so 48. You're coming up on 50 here in 2 years. Don't look at all. You look great.
Well, thanks. My kids remind me often that I'm closer to 50 than 40. So.
Well, I just turned 39, so I'm 1 year away from 40, and I think you're killing it on your nutrition and your health and that.
Thanks
so,
a lot.
What got you inspired and excited to go and do a fitness competition at 47, going on 48 years old?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I had a few different mentors. I've wanted to do one for quite some time. Mark Pittard, Scott Schwab, a couple guys you probably know. They did it a while back. They challenged me to do it. I said I wanted to and would and didn't. And then Justin Prince, he's a guy that a lot of the viewers will probably know, that lives here in the area, Utah County, but does a lot with social media. He did one with his brother, and it was absolutely inspiring. He took us on a social media trek, and, you know, really showed his path, and it was amazing. So I was acquaintances with Justin, but Steve Haycock, my business partner, was just really good friends with him. Mm-hmm. Steve called me one day and said, let's do this. And so we committed. We started out with 5 guys.
And Steve looks like he's really in shape too.
Amazing.
I've seen some pictures, it looks ripped.
Amazing, yeah. Steve Haycock, Colin Rounds, my other business partner. We did it together. We started out with 5 guys, and a couple of them fell off. And so 3 of us for about 25, 24 weeks.
That is a long time.
Yeah, we started at 28, and I wouldn't recommend that to anybody, but we started at 28, and we were strict. We hired a coach, Mike Simkowiak, 3-time Mr. Utah. He's getting ready for his next competition at FitCon. He does classic physique. He's 6 foot. He'll compete at 217.
Oh, wow. So he's big.
He's big, yeah, big guy. And I got lucky. We hired him as a coach at the recommendation of Justin Prince. That's who they had. And he used to live in Salt Lake, but he moved here to Eagle Mountain. So,
okay. So he's close by.
Yeah, he's my workout partner. I work out with him every day. And so that was a big piece of, the...
So your coach was your workout partner too?
Right, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not common.
No, it's not common. It helps you stick to it, because I'll tell you what, there wasn't just one time, but many times that I 100% would have quit through this journey without that and without my business partners and the synergy that comes along with that.
So let's talk a little bit about what are some of the lessons that you learned. First, nutrition. What was the big lessons you learned on nutrition?
Gosh, I would say it's 80 to 90% of what we do to stay fit, and you don't realize it until you jump into this. And I remember getting our first diet, because Mike offered diet plans and workout plans and just the full training program, preparation, show prep. But he sent us our first diet, and it was eating 8 times a day.
Oh man.
Yeah, 8 times a day, and I thought there's no way I could do that. But now I don't feel like there's any way I can't do it.
Really?
Like, it really became habitual. I wouldn't recommend 28 weeks to anybody, but in hindsight, I'm glad it happened, because it really has become habit. So yeah, 8 times a day with almost every meal you have a fish or a chicken or a beef.
Some form of protein.
Yeah, some form of protein, and not a ton of carbs. But if you are eating carbs, then just the good carbs, brown rice and sweet potatoes and things like that. And it really makes a lot of sense when you start counting your macros.
Is that what you were doing? Is basically a macro counting,
yeah,
weighing your food and all that?
We were weighing our food. I wasn't counting the macros. He was doing that. He give the diets, and I told him when we started, I says, listen, I eat at Chipotle almost every day, and I eat at Rumby Island Grill, so that's got to be part of my diet. And if weighing my food is anything part of this, then it's a deal killer. Well, got the diet, and there's no Chipotle, and there's no Rumby, and 6 ounces of this, and 8 ounces of this, and it's like I thought I was going to die. But stuck to it. Didn't cheat one time.
That's amazing.
Not with one Skittle.
That is amazing.
It was hard, but
that's discipline, though.
Yeah, it made a discipline. Now we did have a cheat meal every week. That was part of the deal, and you find out from a nutrition standpoint how critical that is, because when you talk about your blood sugars and resetting your body, tricking your body, then we did that every week, and I couldn't wait for my first cheat meal. And we would, first time he gave us a cheat meal, he said, listen, here's the deal. You need to have a cheat meal, but you've got to spend, in a 2-hour window, you need to eat everything in sight, like burgers, fries, shakes, desserts, sugar sodas. So we would eat 3,000 to 4,000 calories, and it sounds awesome. Sounds awesome right now thinking about it. Like I would start thinking about it on Monday, or even, Saturday or Sunday, what I'm going to have my next Friday for my cheat meal. But about 30 minutes in, you start getting sick, and because your body is eating so clean through the week, but you got to do it because this tricks your body. So we would do that, and the next day or 2 days later at the most, we would be lighter.
Wow.
Tricks your body, resets it, and you know, it gets rid of that. If we go eat a Big Mac, our body's going to process it. If we go eat all this garbage when we're not used to it, our body's just going to get rid of it. So we didn't believe it. We did it.
Cheat meal would be fun.
And it
then.
worked.
Although,
Cheat meals, yeah, it is fun still. You know, I'd get a little sick and then I'd wait, and then, you know, at an hour and a half, eat some more, and I always end with ice cream. And so, you know, there's fun parts of it, but yeah, there wasn't a week I didn't get sick a little bit on the cheat meal.
Huh. Wow. So that was every week you had to do that?
Every week.
Wow.
Yeah. And you learn your body fast, because my first cheat meal was, I couldn't wait to eat pizza, so I went and ate pizza. We went to Pizza Pie Cafe, and I ate all the pizza and soda and junk I could. Well, I gained 7 pounds and I didn't lose it for a week. So he's like, no more heavy carbs and pizza for you. So I didn't have pizza for 27 weeks. And so my cheat meal consisted more of just fatty, greasy food. So burgers, fries, not a ton of sugar, but I usually threw some shakes in there and ice cream, sugar, because you want to do that. You need to have your body get used to having some sugar, because when it comes to competition time, you start carb loading, and especially the day before competition and the day of, you're just eating a ton of sugar to fill up your, you know, get that glycogen back in and fill up your muscles and veins, and it's
Is that why like I see competitors, and I don't know as much about this, but you'll see like competitors on a YouTube channel and they're eating a burger and fries the day of competition? That's what they do?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, carb load, and just it fills up, you know, fills up your muscles, and it fills up your veins, and you know, the day after a cheat meal on Saturday when I go to the gym, I'm just massive veiny. Because you know, you got all those carbs back into your body.
Got it.
So, and some, you know, there's lots of ways to skin the cat, but some coaches will have guys start carb loading. You know, competition on Saturday, they start carb loading on Tuesday or Wednesday, pretty heavily.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so when were your workouts? Just first thing in the morning?
Yeah, workouts first thing in the morning. I did fasted workouts, so I was
nothing before.
Nothing before. I did go through a 30-day bulk where I ate before, and that was part of it. Added quite a bit of carbs, you know, grape nuts, lots peanut butter and jelly, some bagels, you know, stuff like that, to get a bulk. It was actually luckily over Christmas time, and I don't know if it was strategic on his part or not, but I was glad. And so did that, gained about, I was down to 205 when I started that bulk, and I gained up to 220. And
that's got to play with your mind a little bit.
It does
I would
a little
think.
bit.
Yeah, because you're thinking, I'm making all this progress, and I'm sure you're getting stronger, but you're like, now I'm back up to 220, and you get on this scale like, man, I'm going the wrong direction.
It's the hardest part of this thing. Yeah, is the mental part. And you know, back to the workouts, I hated doing fast cardio, but it's a pretty, I'd say pretty popular. It's controversial. There's a lot of trainers that don't like fasted workouts, but a lot do, and my coach did, so I did that. No food, hit the gym. Most of the time through the 28 weeks, I was doing gym for 2.5 hours a day, gym, cardio, every day.
Wow. So you went from 220 and
225,
and you competed at 193?
193, 225 and 25% body fat, and competed at 193, and you know, who knows exactly, but you know, 5 to 8%. I was measured at 5, but I think I was probably, you know, 7%.
Whoa. Wow, that is a significant change, and doing those cheat meals in between. So do you attribute most of that fat loss to the fasted cardio in the mornings, or a combination of all of it?
I contribute most of it to consistency and diet more than anything else. You know, you throw in, you know, the little things. Yeah, the fasted cardio and just consistent workouts. it comes. It doesn't come fast. It comes slow, and that, you know, we were talking about the mental aspect, and that's the hardest part. It is a mental game, up and down and challenging, and you're
probably
sore. And,
yeah, I'm sure there's times where you're like, man, I'm only 2 months away and I am not looking ready for this thing.
exactly. Yeah.
Huh.
2 months away, not looking ready for it. You're tired of chicken and fish and beef, and you're just tired. You know, low carbs, working out all the time, and cardio. The last month was 2-a-day cardio, so.
And that's where you're really trying to trim everything and just get
Yeah.
lean as can be.
Right, and that I have like a carbohydrate. I don't know if you call it a deficiency or what, but lots of carbs will make me bulk up. So I really had to work on cutting and leaning up more than some guys, like Steve Haycock.
He's always just lean, isn't
Well, not always lean, but he leans up faster. You know, just a totally different body.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's tough. It's hard work, you know. Without those guys, for sure, there's times that I would have quit. And, you know, so that's one of the biggest points or takeaways that I got is you need to have a support system. You need to get a coach. You need to have a support system. You've got to have goals out there that
Mm-hmm.
you know, you're really committed to.
So talk about your sleep habits. How much were you sleeping at nights?
Yeah, so that's an important part. One of the most important parts is getting your sleep. And, you know, I did a lot of, you know, research and education by not just my coach, but online. And it's one of the most important parts. And I didn't
Right.
get enough. I tried to get 8 hours, but usually, you know, 6 hours sleep is what I.
Well, you're working out a ton and you're a business owner.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. And when you're doing 2-a-day
And a father,
cardio,
right?
Yeah, and father. Jeez. So, luckily, I have older kids, a 22-year-old at college and an 18-year-old, but I got a 7-year-old that I got to keep up with, and yeah, it's challenging. But if I could get 6 hours, I was pretty happy. Didn't always get that. You know, 2-a-day cardio, I'd get home at 1 o'clock in the morning, and you got to go do cardio. Like, you can't not do it. You know,
You have to do it.
you have to do it 2 days.
That is dedication, commitment, and hard work, if I would say so. That's awesome, Mike. All right, so you go through that entire entire preparation, and then you get to competition. Talk a little bit about the competition, if you don't mind. What was that
Yeah,
like? Competition day.
It's unbelievable. You wake up and you're just shredded.
Like, I've never looked this good.
I've you know, never looked this good. My Instagram profile picture that's actually the morning of.
I haven't
the
seen it. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah,
as soon as
check
we're
out
done.
that picture. But it's amazing. You know, you're tan, and that's a whole process we should talk about. But you know, it's incredible. Nervous, you know, like. I wanted to win. I wanted to win the overall, the whole thing. And
You're a football player.
Right, yeah. And I didn't win the whole thing, you know. I got some hardware, but I didn't win, and that was challenging. You know, you get there and, you know, you're battling through this, and you get to this point where, you know, you look one of the best in the gym, but you're up against all these guys that look like the best in the gym, and they're all the biggest guys in the gym. And some of these guys have done it for years, and you get there and you see some guys, it's like, I look a lot better than him, and I look as good as him, but plenty of guys, you're like, this guy is going to kill me. This guy is shredded. He's 3% body fat, and, you know, his posing is perfect, and, you know, it's intimidating.
So did you go through posing coach, and I mean, did your coach work with you on posing all that too?
I'd work on posing. Yeah, that's not anything we've talked about. I've worked on posing for 20, 30 minutes a day.
Really?
So in classic, you do comparisons. You got to get that posing down, and then you actually do a 45-second routine at night that's choreographed to music. Luckily, my wife's a dancer, so she could help me choreograph that. And,
nice. Got a little rhythm to Mr. Mike Ruffell?
Well, I don't know about rhythm, but some good choreography and some good structure and transitions. So it was good. I was happy with it, but it took a lot of work for sure.
Okay, so tan, what did they do? You did a spray tan?
Wow. Yeah, you do a spray tan, but you know, my daughters are dancers, and so they've done spray tan for years. $25, they go and get spray tanned, and that's it. Well, we set up our spray tan with Sean John Tanning. Little shout out to him, he's fantastic. He said, well, your first tan will be Thursday, so come on in Thursday night. So, and you've got to exfoliate, and you've got to be completely shaved, like. And you know, you've got to exfoliate 2 weeks out, you know, and these spots and these spots, and you come in Thursday, you get tanned, and then Friday you're going to wash that off. Let's come in Friday and get tan, and then you sleep in that, and then at the show, like, they touched us up 4 or 5 times.
Really?
Mm-hmm. You know, with tanning, and then you'd come back 10, 15, 20 minutes later and get oiled up. It's a process.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
it's
I had
beyond
no idea.
a process.
Were there some guys at the competition that are not doing all that, or does everybody pretty much do that? You know, multiple tans, oiled up, all that kind of stuff.
Everybody does it.
Everybody does it.
Now, there's some that are not as good as others. There was one guy at the competition that was actually gold. Literally gold. And, you know, like a bronze, gold, whatever statue. You know, when they're talking about getting bronzed up, he took it literally.
Yeah.
So it looked terrible. But,
yeah.
You know, it's part of the game. I'll tell you, when I started this, I started looking at YouTube. I started out to do physique. Physique is with the boy shorts.
Yeah, that's what I've wanted to do.
Yeah. So I started watching on YouTube, and I said, I can't do this. Like, this tanning is terrible, and these posing is so uncomfortable. I have no rhythm in my body. And
farm boy from Burley, Idaho.
Right. And so I literally almost quit then. So luckily I have pretty big legs. I was able to convert over to classic, and I like that a lot. Different kinds of posing, lots of posing, more flexing, and that works for me.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
Challenges, way bigger guys in classic, you know, lots more experience. So, you know, I could probably never's a little farce, but I'd have a very hard time going pro in classic. Those guys, they just huge legs.
So are you thinking that maybe you'll try the physique next time, or are you going to stick?
I don't know. I'll probably stick with classic, but I'd like to do a national show, you know, qualify for a national, but I don't think like pro stuff is in the cards. I'm old, but keeping this on the regimen, I'm planning to do that. I'm planning to do another show in July or August, and I'll stick with classic.
Are your buddies going to do it too? Or
I don't think so, no.
Look at you.
Potentially Colin, but Steve said no, he's not going to do it.
That's awesome that you're continuing with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do the competition. Tell us, is there like I understand there's like a pre-judging, then there's a main show.
There is, yeah.
So how does that all work?
So pre-judging is 10 o'clock in the morning, and I entered 3 different categories. So I entered the open, which is by height and weight. So my height, I'm like almost exactly 5'9", and if I'm not 5'9", then I have to be 193. If I'm 5'9" or over, up to 5'10", then I can be 197. So every 10 pounds you get a little more weight. And so it's people that are in that category, and it doesn't matter about age. So then I did also true novice. Those are guys that have never competed before. And then I did masters, over 45 years old.
And if you don't mind me asking, where'd you place in these different things?
Yeah, so 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was.
How many people were there?
I have no idea. A lot of people, a lot of competitors. Yeah.
That's incredible.
I was happy to bring home some hardware, yeah.
Yeah, that is really, really nice. Way to go, Mike. Okay, so you do the pre-judging, and then what's the difference between that and say the night show that you had later on?
Yeah, so pre-judging, you're right there together, and they're telling you to quarter turn here, front double bicep, back double bicep, ab and thigh, stuff like that. And then you do that for each division, and then you come back at night where you do the routines. And it's in order from the different classes. So you have, bodybuilding, you have classic, you have physique, you have bikini, you have the girls have 3 or 4 different categories of their own. But the overall guys, the guys that win the overall in the division, in the open, then they bring them back out and they compete again. So I wasn't lucky enough to be one of those guys, but the nighttime show is a great show. You see some incredible stuff.
So you're all done. Competition's over. You got your hardware. What's the first thing you do?
we went to Red Robin and just pigged out. Not much sugar because we'd sugared up the whole day, but and I just ate whatever I wanted for a couple days on that Saturday and Sunday. Monday I was not too clean, but then I went right back to it.
So for those couple days, what did your weight go to? You were at 193. Where did you get to?
I went up to 216.
Whoa, that's incredible to me. How it's the big change like that. It's just really your body fills up with water and just puts on all that. Is that kind of what it happens?
Yeah, water, and I don't really get how it works. I have no idea. I heard Jay Cutler podcast he did once. He's like, I can't eat enough. I'm just eating all the time. I'll lose 9 pounds when I do cardio. At night, I have to wake myself up in the middle of the night, or on average, I'll lose 10 pounds at night. Just crazy. I did have one night that I lost 8 pounds in the middle of the night. I have no idea why. Sweat. I had to get up and pee a few times, I guess, but it's unbelievable how your body works. But yeah, I went up to 216, and I'm now at 205. I've been there for a little over a week.
Mm-hmm. And what's your ideal body weight? What
205. I like that. Yeah, 205 is good.
Awesome.
And 205, 10% body fat. That's where I'm going to try and stick for now. But I'll probably go through a bulk, before next competition and get back up to 216, 220, and then
cut it back down. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, what advice would you give somebody who's going to do it? What would you say to them?
28 weeks. And you gotta be committed. It's not an overnight thing. This is a process that is slow. I wish it was faster, but it's not. It takes time, and you work your butt off for even a week, and it's like you're trying to see changes in your body, and there's not much. It takes time, but over time, it happens, and you got to be patient. You got to trust the system. A couple of things that I don't know if regret's a little heavy, but I didn't drink enough water. There was a lot of times that.
How much water? Gallon a day minimum?
Yeah, 100. You should drink probably 100 ounces or so a day.
More than a gallon then.
Yeah, a little more than a gallon. Well, what's a gallon?
60 some odd ounces, I think, is a gallon. I think so.
128. I thought it was
maybe
128. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, but yeah, a gallon or so.
Okay.
100 ounces. It's would be recommended, and I didn't drink as much as I should throughout the entire process. And cheat meals, I didn't hold to 2 hours. Cheat meals lasted my evening a lot of times. I'd eat and then finish off the night before I went to bed with some popcorn or ice cream, and it's hard because you're there and you're eating it, and so I'd be more strict on that. Right, then your body starts craving it. So those are some pieces of advice that I have. Well, and I've given some, but you got to have a team. You got to have a team, a support system.
Yeah.
Coach for sure.
Yeah.
You cannot do this on your own. And maybe if you've done it before, but if you're starting out, and the biggest piece of advice I would give is you don't have to do what I did. I think that the biggest takeaway for me is people can get in shape. There's a lot of people out there that are even watching this right this second they're out of shape and they want to get in shape. And I'm so happy that I've been able to motivate some people, some people directly that have come and talked to me, but now I keep finding more people that come up to me. It's like, I followed your whole process, and I wasn't that big of a social media, poster, but followed your whole process, and it's, super motivating, and I want to change. And
nice.
It's just start doing it, and don't make unrealistic goals and expectations of yourself. A lot of people, we had a couple that they couldn't do that. You say you're going to, do a competition. That's hard. You say I'm going to do 100 push-ups every single day. That's hard. I'm going to work out every day without missing. That's hard. But start by saying I'm going to exercise every day, and do 1 push-up every day, no matter what. Like, don't let anything get in your way. And 1 turns into 2, turns into 10, turns into 20, turns into 100. It just happens. And now I don't want to miss the gym. It's not a chore. And that's my greatest joy, is what it's done for my family and direct people. The last couple of days my wife's been going to the gym with me, and she said she'll never do, we have a battery.
We're still good.
Okay,
We're still
good. We have, she said she'd never go to the gym and never work out, yoga or, cardio or whatever, but now she's going to the gym with me every day, 6:30, and we're going to continue, and that's incredible. And this process, got us there, and we're enjoying it. We're loving it. So.
Is that what you say what are you most proud of?
Yeah, that. I'm most proud of that, that I'm in shape, I'm happy, I have energy. I really got out of shape. And I was a collegiate athlete, and I've done triathlons, and, I did Ironman, and I've rode loaded jaw, and so it's been CrossFit, and so I've been pretty in shape, my whole life, but a lot of yo-yo, I'd sabotage myself, do these things, and, after I did a half Ironman in Miami, and I haven't swam since then. That was 2010. I burnt myself out. I sabotaged myself. I, gained more weight. It's hard, you have to have support, you have to have goals out there, or you will sabotage yourself. This one burger's not that big a deal. I missed today in working out, so not that big a deal. And then when it really starts to compound, it's like, I missed today's workout, so I'm just gonna eat bad today. Well, miss today's workout, that's when you really gotta eat good. But I've done it. I know how easy it is. I've been there, been fat, been out of shape, and so it can happen. Anybody can get in shape. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Well, Mike, this has been great. I appreciate your time and all the valuable insight that you've given.
Yeah.
And as I shared with you earlier, I was watching from a distance, and you were an inspiration to me. So
Appreciate it.
I'm chalking you up to another one on the list that saw the great Mike Ruffell make an incredible change and do some amazing things. So,
well, thanks. Awesome. I have to say that, he used to talk about me doing CrossFit, I'd like to be in that kind of shape, and he started it first. Like, he was an inspiration to me. I'd watch his social media, and what is your Instagram called?
BJack22 Fitness.
Yeah, it's incredible. I'd see him, and I'm like, dang, he's bigger and stronger and looks way better than I ever did. And so you were a good inspiration to me, so it's flattering hearing you say that too.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Mike.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.